stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up.
Hi, I'm Patricia. Before recorded history, humans knew singing as a deep source of power. Power to change, power to heal, power to be present with what is. Right here, right now, we are remembering the ancient gift of song, using modern tech to help us tap into resilience and capacity in chaotic, difficult times. Welcome to the 195th episode of A Breath of Song. I'm so glad you chose to do this today, which is extra special because Barbara McAfee is joining us for a songwriter conversation. Hi, Barbara. Welcome.
Hey, hello, Patricia. Hello, everyone. It's a joy to be here.
We are here to find more ways to sing songs that help us heal, adapt, grow. Each of our voices is exactly what's needed for this. I'm coming to you straight from my home in what is now called Burlington, Vermont. It's on the unceded homelands of the Abenaki people on sand plains between the Winooski River and Lake Champlain. Barbara, tell us where you're calling from.
I am in what is currently known as Wisconsin, USA, about an hour from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis-St. Paul. And I am on unceded territory of the Ojibwe and Dakota people, right up the street from my home river, which is the St. Croix. It's a wild and scenic river, and it is the reason I left Minneapolis, Minnesota after 40 very happy years there to come back home 5 years ago to this valley that I love. And I swam across that river this morning.
Wow. How cold was it?
Less cold than yesterday. We've had an extended spring here, so I'm a cold water dipper, and it's been delightfully chilly.
Do you know, I haven't done percentages, but a surprising number of the people I've talked with on this show have been cold water dippers.
I wonder if it has something to do with singing.
Well, maybe that will open my voice even further in 40 years when I decide to try.
I was one of those who was never going to do it, but now I crave and love it. So
I just want to recognize that in your neck of the woods, not in Wisconsin, but in Minnesota, there were two recent murders and two more shootings related to lawmakers and people trying to govern well. And I feel the horror and the dismay that anyone chose such an action. And I feel like part of the work we're doing in the world is diving into that connection to our breath and the vibration in our body and our voices as a counterbalance to that kind of horror, as a reminder that there's creative, kind action in the world as well. It's important to tend ourselves and our resources so that we can bring our presence, drop our weight squarely for justice and for freedom.
Yeah, it's been a really hard few days here. I did not know Mark and Melissa Hortman, but I know a lot of people who did and keep discovering more and more of them. And it's just, I finally stopped feeling so ill. But that Minnesota's my home state, and it's very, horrifying. And so I have to keep going to the woods, and I have to keep jumping in the river and remembering what else is happening here on planet Earth. It's not unrelieved horror, even though the horrors are horrific. Yeah.
Last week, I shared Hildegard's song by Barbara. Today, Barbara will be teaching us Get Up. We'll learn it slowly so it can settle inside you. You can begin to trust it as a resource, let it move you into a state of flow, and then we get to enjoy a conversation with Barbara. We'll close out with the song again at the end. You can always find this episode with full show notes, a ton of links and artwork in the library of songs at abreathofsong.com. So let's start with a good yawn stretch. Maybe roll your shoulders a bit. Open out your back. Feel into your body. Check in with that vessel. Maybe shaking. Whatever allows your breath to release a little bit. Your rib cage to widen. And let's let a breath come in and widen the ribs. And on the out, let it sigh. Yeah, and another one. In, let it widen your belly. Yeah, and one more. Let the breath drop all the way down into your pelvis. Fabulous. Barbara, I'm going to turn it over to you to share this song.
All right. This is called Get Up, and it is based on a quote, and I want you to know the quote before, where the source of the quote is before you learn it, because it means so freaking much to me. This is based on a quote by the amazing Angeles Arrien, who was a great influence on me through her book, The Fourfold Way. She's a Basque woman, indigenous woman from what is now northern Spain and southern France. And I first came across her book years and years ago, and then I had the pleasure of meeting her and actually providing song for a number of her gatherings before her very sudden and sad death a few years ago. After her death, a mutual friend told me about this quote, so I never heard it from her sparkling, crackling, dark-eyed face. I heard it from my friend who knew her well. And this is the quote: "If your business is waking up the dead, get up. Today is a work day." Yes. Isn't that great? If your business is waking up the dead, get up. Today is a work day. And it just struck me that everything I do is about waking up the dead. All the song leading, all the voice stuff I do, everything is about awakening that human spirit in all of us and among all of us. So, and then as I was composing it, I found another quite well-known song that fit right in with the tune and the message, which tickled the heck out of me. So, here's the first part. It's a little groove. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. That's it. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. And the silence in this is as important as the singing. I hope you can already feel that. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. One more time. It's a little funky and complicated. I think one more time will do it.
How about the importance of the B's and the D's? Like which ones come when?
Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. I can't say it unless I'm singing it. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. It's mostly does. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Okay, so that's the first one.
I love it.
And here comes the second part. I probably already gone flat because we always do. It's what we do. Here's the second part. If your business is waking up the dead, if your business is waking up the dead, yeah, it's just that line. It's the same every time. If your business is waking up the dead. One more of those. If your business is waking up the dead. Okay, so those are, the two basic ones.
Love them.
And then there's this third part that I like to call, I often like designate different parts as being like the Elvis part. Like the Elvis part was the first one. And this is like the Diana Ross part. And some of your listeners who are young may not know who the heck I'm talking about, but oh well. All right, so here's the Diana Ross
We'll
part.
link to Diana Ross.
Sung with the hand on the hip, I think. It's got this kind of sassy ass kind of feeling. Get up, get up, get up, today is a work day. That's it. And it comes on the offbeat. Get up, get up, get up, today is a work day. 2, 3, 4. Get up, get up, get up, today is a work day. We'll do another couple of those. Get up, get up, get up, today is a work day. And if you really want to get fancy, this isn't an official part, but I recorded it this way with my friend Lia Falls in the studio. A high harmony. Get up, get up, get up, today is a work day. Ow! That's like the Chaka Khan sign. Yeah, so anyway, but don't worry about that. That's only if you want like extra credit. Okay, so those are the 3 parts. 3 of the 4. 3.5 of the 4. And then the part that occurred to me. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. You know this. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Thank you, Bob Marley, for that. And it works perfect. It's got get up in it. What the heck? So those are all 4 of the parts. And you're going to share it later with all 4 going at the same time. Is that correct?
Can we try putting like 2 different parts together, just you and me?
Sure.
What are 2 of some of your favorite parts linked? Then we'll put in the whole thing and we'll sing along with the whole thing.
Okay, so why don't we do the first 2? I'll do the little groove part, and you can do if your business is waking up the dead. Does that work for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go.
And I just need to insert in here that I sing this wrong this time through, and Barbara and I sort it out in a couple of minutes when she teaches me how this part actually goes. So if you're learning the song, don't learn this part from me singing right now. Okay?
Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da,
if your business is waking up the dead, if your business is waking up the dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. And now let's see how that get up part fits in. So you can hear me. So you want to do the get up part?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it for me one more time, because you do it just a little bit differently than the way I learned of.
Get up. Get up. Today is a work day.
Today is a work day. Got it.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'll do if your business part. Okay? You ready? If your business
today is a work
waking up the dead. If your business
today is a work
waking up the dead.
One more time.
If your business
today is a work
waking up the dead. Okay, and then we got to figure out how to get Bob Marley in here.
How about if I do If Your Business and you do the Bob Marley part? Maybe?
Will I be able to hear you?
No, but I'll be able to hear you.
Get up, okay, we'll try that. Good luck. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If your
Stand up for your right.
business is
Get up,
waking
stand
up the
up.
dead.
Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If your
Stand up for your right.
business is
Get
waking
up,
up
stand
the
up.
dead.
Don't give up the fight.
All right, so I have a question. If your business is waking up the dead. Do I have those notes right?
If your business is...
That's the one I was missing. That's different than the way that I learned it. If your business is waking up the dead.
Waking up the dead.
Okay. All right, let's try it again.
Okay. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If your
Stand up for your right.
business is
Get up,
waking
stand
up
up.
the dead.
Don't give up the fight. You got it?
If
Oh, you were keeping going. Okay, sorry.
Sorry. One more time,
I
just
was
so I
so
can do it.
Couple more times?
Yeah.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If your
Stand up for your right.
business is
Get up,
waking up
stand
the
up.
dead.
Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up.
If your
Stand up for your right.
business is
Get up,
waking up
stand
the
up.
dead.
Don't give up the fight.
I think I got it. I
Yeah.
think I got it.
I have no idea, but we'll find out later. And do you know, it has already traveled and changed. And it may have changed from how I originally taught it.
Because I learned it as,
Right.
if your business is waking up the dead.
I don't think I would have done that. But anyway, it
So
doesn't...
that's not
yeah.
how, yeah. Isn't that interesting,
yeah.
the way songs
Yeah.
travel and move?
Well, it's the oral tradition. It is a messy business.
Yeah.
And sometimes those little details really matter, and sometimes they're not so important. Like this is that I like the little, I like the note I wrote rather than the one that it was.
Yeah.
It was. It's a preference, but there are times when I hear back a song and it's like, oh my gosh! It's like the body.
That's
is
the
all
core
wrong.
is gone.
Like the body of the song is wrong. It's like the elbow is in the middle of the face.
Yeah.
Of the song. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
sing it now all together, everybody at once. Do you have any advice to people as we go into this?
Open your butthole.
That's good advice.
No, it is. It's a one that I
Yeah.
got from an old voice teacher of mine. But this song is so much about rhythm,
Yeah.
especially that first part. But even that get up, get up. You know, it's got this kind of
Yeah.
So I want you to feel your pelvic bowl. I want you to like pretend you got lots of junk in your trunk, even if you don't, and like really feel your dancing would be good.
All
You
right.
can dance and sing it. The rhythm will work better.
Fabulous. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, if your business is waking up the dead, if your business waking up the dead. If your business is waking up the dead, if your stand up for your rights, get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight.
Yeah. Barbara, I love this song. I've actually been teaching this song for a long time. I learned it from Lisa Littlebird in 2019, I think, and just fell in love with it. And I've been sharing it with groups.
Yay.
And that was when I first heard your TED Talk. I want to dive a little bit into the history of what it takes to have such an amazing song able to come out through you, able to make space for such a song to come through you. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about your earliest memory of singing.
Oh gosh, I have no idea. My mom was a singer. My big brother, one of them, was a singer. Sorry, I have noisy things going by my house. So
That's okay.
If you hear growling in the background, it is not an animal. It's just my neighbors expressing themselves through their motors because they can't sing. They don't have the opportunity of singing, so they have to like run it through their vehicles. That's my theory. Helps me be less crabby. So I was around singing a lot. My grandfather was on the radio in Des Moines, Iowa, when my mom was small. He was an amazing singer and song leader. So I think my earliest memory was probably at the First Presbyterian Church in Stillwater trying to sing out of hymnals, which I still really do not like. I like some of those hymns, but reading music, I learned how to do it. I was in good choirs, but I also sang around the campfire. I also sang, just along with the radio. And so I was never that child that got up in front of other people and sang. I didn't do that until I was well into my 20s and then was a hot mess for about, a decade. Just so much fear.
So there was a time there when singing stopped being satisfying for you.
Yeah, I was in the good choirs. I had a great teacher. I still teach what he taught to my students, all these years later. But I had a lot to unwind before I was ready to open up my voice. So I don't know if it was about satisfying. I'd say possible.
Okay.
I didn't sing in front of my friends. It was, or my family, anybody. It was a really tender spot. And then when I finally started singing jazz after college with a friend of mine who's still playing jazz piano around the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, he had no idea I had this voice. We've been friends for years. And so he invited me to front his trio for a summer at this little hotel down on the Mississippi River. And, it was a mess. It was just a mess. And I got mad about, why am I such a mess? All these people in my family sing. I've been supported in good choirs. And so I figured this out years ago. I started therapy and voice lessons the same week.
Brilliant.
Isn't that
brilliant?
My soul is so smart.
Yeah.
And as I was unwinding some of the stories about why I felt like my voice couldn't come out, I was just mostly with my voice teacher, I would just open my mouth and just sob. Yeah. And I thought that was so weird until now I'm a voice teacher, and I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that happens all the time.
That's what I did in my voice lessons.
Yeah. So singing is telling the truth, as they say, and if you have a truth of pain and grief and suppression, it's gonna show up.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing to go through.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Sometimes it's difficult to find the right person to go through it with. Yep. Sometimes you get a voice teacher or a therapist who shuts it down as well, because it's scary for them too.
Yeah, a lot of people who are trained in voice teaching are classically trained. And that's wonderful if that's what you want. But for most of us who just want to sing, it's kind of a misfit.
Even classically trained teachers, I think, can be good teachers, because the most beautiful classical voices that I've heard have a lot of freedom at their core, right?
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily where they're going to go. They might be going towards more control right from the beginning, and that doesn't give you a chance to get at whatever it is that's closing your voice down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those classically trained people. When I was starting to teach, I was like, oh my gosh, I should probably brush up the skills I learned when I was 16. And I found this wonderful man who studied with this like very imposing, well-known Russian opera singer teacher in Minneapolis. And then he would come and teach me what she taught him. Only he wasn't imposing. He was a love. He was so sweet. And I still teach a lot of the things I learned from him. So I think, really learning how voices work and then working with them instead of how we think they work or how our trauma has contorted them to work. I'm a big fan of knowing those things. I also think sometimes the way that I can get there is a lot more playful and silly. You can get the same place by acting foolish as by trying to figure out where your damn soft palate is. You start talking technique to people, and then sometimes they glaze over and go like, I'm in the wrong room.
Right. I'm curious, your full voice book was published in 2011. You set out a framework for people to explore their voices in a full way. It reminds me a little bit of Roy Hart's work and this idea that our voices are such versatile instruments, right? They have so many options available. And right. You set out a framework that's connected to elements to help people, give them a visual and a tactile sense of tapping into these different aspects of voices. Not everybody who needs to find their voice ends up developing a framework for understanding it and teaching. Why do you think your mind went to a framework that is beautifully accessible? And there will be a gazillion links in the show notes for your TED Talk and for your book and for how to access you as a trainer, for people who are interested in going on. But this is what I'm curious about.
You know, it was such an organic process. I did find the Roy Hart people. They came to my town, and that first voice teacher suggested I go to their workshop, and I don't know why I said yes. I was so freaking scared. And thank goodness I did, because it opened up this world to me that I'm still like, I'm walking around in delight and wonder. And it just blew open the voice beyond speaking, beyond singing, into sound, which is so mysterious. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole universe is made out of it. Our bodies are made out of vibrating stuff. So I feel like it got really spiritual for me, transformational, and also really practical. You know, and it's like, when do you find things that are practical and transformational at the same time? I'm a nice Minnesota girl. You know, I like things that work. So I followed them around for quite a while. I went to France and studied at their center. I went to Toronto and studied with another teacher and kept working with my primary teacher, Angeles Arrien from the Roy Hart Center. But through a collision of some experiences that were happening. I think part of why that happened is that I'm a puzzle person. I like jigsaw puzzles. I like patterns. Music is just a pattern. And I have that kind of brain. So while I'm opening up all these colors in my voice and discovering that who I think I am, my story, is connected to my voice. When I went to the workshop, my voice ended here. That was the truth, and there was nothing beyond it. And when I was in that workshop, Shell took me almost here, 2 octaves, like from here to here. Boom, mind blown. So I'm discovering all these qualities in the voice and how they open qualities in my life while I'm doing yoga, so connecting to the chakra system from the yogic tradition. And it's like, oh, there's a pattern there that, the sounds connect to these energy centers in the body. And then I'm also, at the time, being an organizational development consultant, much to my surprise. No training in that at all. But I stumbled into it and was quite good at it. But I started working with lots of leaders. And my colleagues started referring people to me to work on the voices. Because I started working with people saying, this conflict that's happening between you right now, I did a lot of conflict resolution. This conflict that's happening between you right now feels like it has more to do with tone than content. And so I started noticing, and then I started noticing what made for good relationships, good leaders, and good communication, and noticed how much voice had to do with that and how little people got trained in that.
So do you mean when you say voice had to do with that, do you mean like the difference in tonal quality of the voice as people are sharing information or ideas or objections? Like if they're doing it through some kind of a hard-edged voice versus through a really soft, gentle voice? Or do you mean tonal choices? Tell me more.
Okay. So a lot of us kind of live in a little ghetto in our voice, like this tiny little closet. And what we have is a mansion. And that little part of our voice, like my home is fire. So the elements are earth, fire, water, metal, and air. And most of us have dominant voices that we really like. I love fire, especially when I'm teaching or talking about something I care about. It's the voice of passion and teaching and being seen and heard and all of that. I hated air. I hated it. It had nothing. I wasn't ever going to be one of those girls, like that. For heaven's sake, I'm 6'2" and I'm smart. So that was like, ugh, I hated it. That's partly why my voice ended here, right? Mm-hmm. But there was this whole other aspect of my personality that was there waiting for me to come home. This gentleness and sweetness. But for a lot of us, we get stuck in one voice, which might work great. Like the fire voice might work great for when I'm like enthusiastic teaching or leading singing. But if I have to say, I'm sorry, I am sorry. It's like, that doesn't work. Like the tone and the words are at odds.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, really, no, I don't want that. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
And I'm exaggerating this, but
yes.
A lot of us are living in only a part of our voice, and it's only good for certain things. So each of the elements has an application, has multiple applications for when and how to use them effectively for communicating with other people, but also for communicating to yourself about who you are. And these are just human qualities. So it helps. I think of it as the secret decoder ring for voices.
So you told me just before we got on that you are really excited about a new project that you're working on. Mm-hmm. Is this closely related?
Yeah. I had an agent get in touch with me a few months ago, and I am writing a new book. It's going to start as an audiobook and then become a print project later. And it's full voice for leaders. My first book is just full voice. Mm-hmm. And this is full voice for leaders, because I've done so much work in the interim since 2011 when I wrote this last book. I've met so many people and supported them in becoming more fully expressed in various ways. And these are formal leaders and people who are just interested in making the world a better place, wherever their little corner is. So I'm hard at work on that script, and we'll be going into the studio in a few weeks to record it.
Do you find it's very different when your target audience is leaders as opposed to regular people?
No.
How would you define the target audience of Full Voice?
Anybody who wants to more fully express themselves. Mm-hmm. It does have a business bent because I had spent so many years. I spent 12 years as an organizational development consultant. Mm-hmm. And I kind of figured that might be the audience, but it was broader. Anybody who wanted to find their voice. So there's stories from hospice chaplains and, various other people, people who lost their voice to illness. It's got a variety pack. Mm-hmm. But the core of the work is pretty much the same. It's just, it gets to the human. Mm-hmm. It takes us, no matter where we're entering, we always come back to our full humanity, which I think is sort of the deepest meta message, is like, be all you, it sounds like be all you can be. That's like, what is that, the army or something? but it is that, like,
being your full self.
You get to be full. You get to be whole, and that includes a lot of shadow.
Yeah.
You get to make horrible noises and pretend to be these horrible characters. Like witches and animals, and not always horrible, but exaggerated.
I often find when I'm working with people in voice things that they want to only sound whatever they've learned to define as good.
Right.
So they don't want to make this sound ever. No.
And that sound is so helpful for amplification.
Yeah.
And that was the source of a big piece of my neurosis about my voice was perfectionism. It had to be perfect.
Yeah.
And what a relief to have these like cracking, shrieking, weird noises coming out of my mouth. And my teacher, Shao, who's this lovely British man, saying, "Oh, interesting, lovely." I'm like, "Oh, really?"
That's just what I needed to hear. So that's sort of how you're approaching individuals. What happens when you take this wisdom that you've learned and how you're working with the voice, and you're approaching a community? I know you've done a lot of community song leading. What happens when you bring this perspective into a group?
Well, I realized years ago that I was the matriarch of community singing here in my part of the world, which was cool. I mean, I was doing it a long time ago just out of sheer instinct. I come from song leading people. My grandfather, my mother, and my big brother all were choir directors of various kinds. And so I always kind of knew that people needed to sing together. And so many people who show up for community singing are so wounded. They come in shaking. It's amazing they get in the door, frankly.
Yeah.
I know people who it's taken years for them to get up the courage to come and sing. I love being able to give language through the images and archetypes of this framework of the 5 elements. For instance, a lot of people are like me. Like I used to be scared of singing high. Oh, I have a low voice. And our voices do get lower with age unless we stretch them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who are showing up for my circles are, you're not, well, it's changing. But our voices are all over the place, and a lot of people have a fear of heights in their voice. And so I could sit there all day and talk about like the technique, but I could just say, okay, well, why don't you sing it like drunk Julia Child, and they'll do all these silly things, and all this great technique will just happen. Mm-hmm. Or if they're having trouble, like with the Diana Ross part, get up, you can just like do it like the cat. And so it gives us some language and points of access to some of the different sounds that can support us in singing easily. Uh-huh. And with fun, instead of like furrowing the brow and trying hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. When you step into a room with a new group, what are you paying attention to?
Everything. Everything. One of the songs I love that I wrote, based on what I say all the time is, in community singing, is "Listen with your skin." It's in 5/4 time, which
Sing
is
a
really
bit of it
complicated.
for us.
Yeah, I'd be happy. Listen with your skin. Listen with skin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Skin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen with your skin. Listen with skin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Skin. 2, 3. Yeah, and then the other words are, how do I know what's mine to sing? Sing. And then the third part is, I have ears in my skin.
Why are we
And
not
it all
doing this
is-
song?
Oh, because it's freaking hard. I've taught it a few times. I taught it to some friends in Atlanta when I was there recently, and they're really, really good singers. And we managed to do it, but we kind of almost got cramps doing it because it's like a real good. Yeah, it was Rhiannon. I was in an online class with Rhiannon during COVID, and it was an assignment. She said, do something in 5/4 and do something about skin. And they were separate assignments, so I combined them. But that's what I do when I walk into a room. I'm like listening with my skin to the acoustics of the room, for sure, because that can make us feel more reflected. And then I'm also listening for the acoustics of the energy of the people there. Yeah, those are the things. And the relationships, yeah, just everything. I feel like I just pick it all up.
When you come back from leading a sing, are you energized and wound, or are you tired and feel like you've kind of laid it all out on the mat? How does your body respond, or is it different depending on
It's really different.
the particular night?
Yeah, there's since I moved here 5 years ago to this town of 2,000 people, I've been leading with my dear friend, leading songs regularly here, song circles, with Lia Falls, who's an amazing song leader, songwriter. And our groups are smaller, usually. I mean, I used to have 40 to 60 people in Minneapolis when I was there pretty regularly. And a lot of them were new always, and a lot of them were experienced always. So there was this kind of baseline. A lot of people knew the songs, or they could pick them up quickly. And here, Leah's been leading community singing here for a long time, but it's been much smaller. And so if there's a person who's having a little trouble with pitch or tempo, it's a lot harder to steer that boat. Right? And so, it's all great. I'm so glad they're with us. It just takes more energy to try to herd the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. But mostly I feel really, really pumped and excited, and then I have a snack, and then I'm tired.
And then you crash.
Crash.
What makes you feel most tired in general in life?
Oh, in general in life, lately it's been the book project. And mostly I'm not tired. Mostly I am just I hike for an hour and a half to 2 hours every morning and swim in the river, and that's how I start my day, so I've got a lot of energy. And it's been actually kind of interesting to be struggling. It's shifted, it got better yesterday, and then it was terrible, it's sort of, but I've been really, that's been tiring me out, just my struggle with writing, because writing is a joy for me. I'm good at it, I like it. And I love this material. I've never believed more in the need for people to find their voice, to speak up, to sing their truth, to bring beauty into the world, to all of it, So I've been just really tired of my own thoughts.
Is it perfectionism rearing its head again? I
have no idea. That's what's so tiring about it. I know that I broke through last week somehow. And then with the events of the weekend of the murders, I had that all happening. And then I also had two beloved singing friends, actually, who were visiting me. One in my house for 3 days, my friend Daniel Nelson from Kauai, who's an amazing singer, song leader. And then my friend Jenna Lindbo, from another singer from Asheville. And so I had this glorious, joyful time with these beloved people, and then this horrifying thing, and then all the excitement. Anyway, it was just too much. And I think Monday I just thought I just couldn't get my head in it.
Yeah.
And then yesterday it turned the corner.
Yeah.
But mostly I don't feel tired. Mostly I feel really good. So when I do feel crappy, I feel like, oh, this is interesting. She's twisting on the meat hook. This girl.
Brings out the puzzle solver in you.
It does. Like, oh wow, look at her. And it helps to talk about me in the third person.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at her.
Because there's a part of me that's always fine. Always fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That can look at the person who's twisting on the meat hook. Now there's an image.
From Inanna, the ancient story of Inanna.
Can you name me a song that's been a gift to you in some situation?
That's a good one. So many. Well, it's interesting because the immediate songs that just leapt up were songs that I've actually made for people who I love who are dead or dying. Because I've had a number of people die kind of suddenly, violently, whoa. Like in the last 2.5 years, I've lost some really, really dear people to me. And
I'm sorry.
The songs, thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And the songs have been a way to just talk to them.
Yeah.
And then I've taught a couple of them to my Morning Star singers. I have a little comfort choir in Minneapolis and have for 17 years. And so they become useful to other people. There's a beloved woman in our community here where I live who's been a yoga teacher here for years and is this radiant being. I've only met her a handful of times, but she's very near the end of her life, and I've been singing this song for her at the river every day. And we sang it at choir the other day for her. So those songs that keep circling back and finding a way to be useful to people, including me. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you give us a taster of it?
Yeah, this is one that I sang for my friend Tom McSteen. He was a full voice coach. He's one of the people who's trained in my work, and lovely man. And he was lingering between the worlds, and I knew in my, I don't know, intuition that he needed to find his way out, because the way he would be living, he had made very clear he didn't want to live like that in his wishes. And please get your wishes written down. Do your healthcare directive.
Do your healthcare directives. Yeah, so that the people who love you can know.
Yes, because his sons knew, his best friends knew, and they could support him in that. But while he was lingering, he did find his way out. But this is the song I wrote. I'll just give you a little taste of it. I won't do the whole thing. No, do the whole thing. May it go easy as you go. May it go easy, and may you know how to find the door and go through it. Leave your weary body behind. How to find the light and become it. It's the one we saw there shining in your eyes. May it go easy. May it go easy. May it go easy as you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. And today I sang that for Julie, for my friend here who's dying. It's so helpful to be able to sing prayers for people. Because I think music doesn't care about time or distance or even life or death.
Yeah.
So if the songs can go, you send them and they'll go find people.
It's vibrating those molecules, and those molecules are still there after we die.
Yep.
Yeah. So, how do you shape your work days? to make space for things like that to come through. And make space for big projects like books or touring, and how do you go about shaping the way that you spend your time?
Well, it varies a lot. But I try not to schedule any workity-work things before 11 o'clock in the morning, if at all possible. Because I know that one of the first things I need to do is drink coffee. But then after that, I need to get out into the world and into the woods and the rivers here. That feels so essential to me. And then I come home and then I can get my administrative stuff done. So there's this kind of quiet that I count as a anchoring place and being in my body and in beauty. Beyond that, I don't have a work day. I have a life. I have a life that includes work and play and community and service. And I have stopped delineating because I'm training a group of people in full voice right now. And one of the times that this incredible group of 9 people in 4 time zones, one of the places we can get together, it's Friday night. So I spent, with joy. I love these people. They're awesome. Have you had T. Martin on this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, T's in that course.
Fabulous.
And they're awesome. They're just awesome. And then, so I just have stopped. I have the structure around my self-care. But I don't have structure around my work. I just work and play and weave it all together. It's just my life.
Yeah.
And I've worked for myself.
That's how you're giving yourself structure, right? You've structured around your self-care. And then the other things are slotting in where they work, where they need to be.
Yeah.
For those moments.
And I have 9 records of most of my work as a soloist, mostly. And then the Morning Star CD, and then I've written all these community songs, and I keep writing more of them, and I still feel like I'm unfaithful to my muse. I will fold the laundry before I create something. But when somebody dies, I think that's partly why I write these death songs. It's like, I just don't know what to do, so I just have to sing about it. I will be going on a songwriting retreat for the first time for probably 10 years. I'm going to go up to this beautiful island up in on the border of Ontario and Minnesota for a week in August.
Better bring lots of laundry.
Yeah. No, I have written so many songs up there over the years. I went there, I think, probably 15 years, and I cranked out. My body just knows. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing.
Great.
And so when I give myself time, I do show up, and I'm collecting a lot of ideas already. My body knows we're going back there.
Nice.
So I'll be making some new things. Yeah.
What are the biggest questions that you're carrying right now?
Well, it's the one I'm going to carry till I'm dead, which is what's mine to do. And also, therefore, what's mine not to do. In some ways, like there's a burgeoning community singing movement in Minneapolis, St. Paul right now. There are song circles happening all over the place, and Ollie Blakely will be this weekend, and oh my heavens, there's just so, and so there's a way that I feel like I'm happy that people are still interested in my songs and my song leading, but I feel like I have passed that torch, and I'm an elder in that movement now, and they're taking it places I would never go. So, and then I just keep writing songs because I want to, and I love it. When I get around to it, I really enjoy it. And people find them useful. I hear, word back. But I think the thing that one of the questions is, what's my responsibility with full voice? That's my daily prayer, because I feel like that is something, even though there are 20 coaches out there now and about 50 trainers around the world, that is something it's uniquely mine to do, to keep that, to do what I can to keep it alive. If it dies when I die, well, whatever. Things aren't supposed to live forever. But that has been a lot my question. And what's the best way to go about doing that
Yeah.
in this world? Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a place, if people want to find the song, Go Easy, May It Go Easy, is there a place they can find that at this point?
That's a good question. I know I have a community singing page on my website at barbaramcafee.com. Mm-hmm. But do you think I know what's on there? I do not.
And I don't think that song is on there because I haven't heard it.
No. I think it might be on my YouTube channel because I remember recording it when he was in transit. Mm-hmm. So I think it might be on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's called May You Go Easy.
May You Go Easy. We'll see if we can find it and put a link in for people.
Yeah,
that's
if you
what
can,
I want to
and
be
if
sure.
not, I'll make one.
Okay.
I'll make it and put it on my YouTube. But I'm pretty sure I did that back in, it was a while ago. So
great. Mm-hmm. And is there a way, if somebody's using that, if they're teaching it to other people in a situation where they're being paid to gather people together, is there a way that they can send you something in exchange for teaching that song?
Well, what I say on my community singing page would apply to this song, any other songs I've made, is that if you're making money and you can pass a little my way, that'd be great. If it's in the context of community or you're singing it for your uncle, well, have at it. My friend Catherine just sang my song Breathing Trees. There's a beautiful video of that on my website that my friend Julie Brown, who's a nature photographer, she made this beautiful video of trees. But she sang it for her uncle's funeral because he was a forester.
Oh.
That's like my Grammy Award. So, But is she paying me anything? No, she's not. It was a funeral.
No. Yeah.
Of course not. So I leave it to people's judgment. And, I have other ways to make money, but it's also really nice to, for all I've invested in recording and living into these things, it's nice to be compensated. And now I'm 65, so it's like, oof, I'm still got vitality, but, and it's also made a huge difference to have a Patreon, to have an amount of money coming in every month that is connected to the fact that people are appreciating what I am creating in the world, not just paying me for a service.
Yes.
And it feels really very different than the other money I get. So.
Lovely. Lovely. That will also be linked in the show notes. So you can hear how vital these show notes are. How many things.
It's a lot of work for you, girlie.
Well, no, that's okay. But I want people to be able to make it easy. It's not always easy to support the artists, and I've had the experience where I'll hear a song by somebody and I'll be like, oh, I want to use that song. And then life happens and I get kind of lost, or maybe I remember to use the song and then I forget to send anything towards that songwriter. And sometimes it's difficult to track them down or figure out how do I support this person? And so I'd like to make it as easy as possible. Yeah,
and I support a bunch of people, song makers, because I carry their work.
Yeah.
But then a couple of them are sort of supporting me, so we're basically trading money. But it's like energetically fun, I support, I don't know, Lindsay Scott, Serena Partridge, Heidi Wilson. I throw money at Lawrence Cole every now and then because we sing so many of his songs, and Melanie DeMore.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Are you ready for lightning round questions?
Yes, darling.
And the big difference being that we don't talk about them unless we talk about them.
Okay.
In which case, we do talk about them.
All right.
So, what's an album that was really important to you?
Joni Mitchell's Blue.
What is your favorite soup?
The one I'm going to have for dinner at the moment, which is a beautiful mushroom barley soup with mushrooms I foraged, 2 different kinds, from my hikes in the forest.
Good. If it wasn't in the fridge, would it still be your favorite soup?
No. but it's so top of mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I just love soup, so
Yeah.
I don't want to have to pick
Yep.
a favorite, but that one is pretty magical.
What is a sound that you feel really strongly about? It might be your neighbors and their motorized vehicles. I don't know. It can be any kind of sound.
Yeah, that's it. It is a constant practice for me. I wrote a little, like, not very enlightened ditty while I was working in my gardens after I had to reclaim gardens that had been neglected for over 10 years. And so I'd be out there digging, and I live on a steep hill, and people speed up there all the time. And so I started this little song. The louder the engine, the smaller the penis. And I wrote this whole thing, and it helped me, it just kept me laughing. But that is a song I feel strongly about, because there's one guy that goes by every morning at 6:42 who has a beater car with a terrible muffler, and I'm assuming he can't afford to get it fixed. That's a different thing. But when it's a choice, that's hard on me.
Yeah.
With my little tender ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is an artist you wish more people listened to?
Gosh, I don't listen to a lot of music. Oh, but wait, there are two. I just
there's not just
remembered.
one, there's two.
There's two, John Baptiste and Jacob Collier.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before we close, where can we find you and follow your projects, just in case somebody can't get to the show notes and has a fabulous memory?
BarbaraMcAfee.com. And McAfee is MCA, one F as in fabulous, and two E's.
Is that Scottish?
Yes, it is. I got to go to Scotland and see where the last McAfee clan chief was murdered in 1623.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. How did you make it from 1623 to now? If the clan chief got murdered.
Oh, there was other people. They dispersed. They went to Northern Ireland, and then the first McAfee came to the U.S. in 1708.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were immigrants long before I immigrated. My family immigrated.
Well, there was all kind of different. There was Huguenots, there was Scots, there was Germans. So my great-grandfather immigrated from Germany. So it's all a lot of different times from different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to you, Barbara, for coming on A Breath of Song, and a huge thank you to our listeners. I'm so glad you're singing with us.
Me too.
Visit abreathofsong.com to see show notes, as we've talked about, with links and lyrics, and Patty Piotrowski's glorious artwork. You can sign up to get artwork and music and sort of musings in your mailbox. Beautiful is that. And be one of the generous people who put something in the gratitude jar to help me cover costs. Before Patty or I is paid, 25% is donated to the Jazz Foundation of America, which directly supports jazz, blues, and roots musicians in need. The skill and the artistry of these musicians has directly shaped most of the music I share on this podcast in one way or another, yet historically they have been inadequately recognized and unfairly recompensed. That's what prompted me to search out this particular organization for us to support. Let's sing Get Up again and help it sink in more deeply. We're going to just do it with the full recording. So you're going to hear me singing along with Barbara's many voices layered up. And we'll pick different parts. A reminder that when you're singing these kinds of multi-layered things, you can choose one part and stick with it and own it and just dig deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Or you can be kind of fickle and just jump parts. As soon as a new one comes, sing the next one. You can decide what you want to do. I think, don't you think, Barbara?
I think so. Ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. If your business is waking up the dead, if your business is waking up up the day. If your business is waking up the day. If your stand up for your rights. Stand up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Yes. Barbara, thanks so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me, Patricia. It was a joy. I am so delighted that you've taken on what Rumi would call this huge and foolish project of spreading songs the way you are. It's a huge labor, I know, and I'm just grateful for your faithful. 195, man, that's a lot. So kudos and bravo and thank you.
And we are just starting the 5th year. It's been 4 years, which I would have never, ever thought. But every year, Patty and I look at each other and say, what do you think? Should we do another year or not? And we're giving ourselves sort of full space to say, nope, we're done. Mm-hmm. Or to say, yeah, got another year in us. Let's see where this goes. There are a few more people I still want to talk to. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm grateful for everybody who listens, because the feedback from people who listen is really what makes us want to keep going. It's feeling that connection. I'm grateful that everybody is taking care of themselves, listening to your voice. I believe making a better world starts with tuning into ourselves and each other, which is what we just did. So, yay us! If you're liking this podcast, please share with a friend, and next time we'll plant another song. Until then, be well.